And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started.
So thank you everyone for joining us today on our Student Employment Services Department webinar on LinkedIn and best practices. We're so glad that you could join us. We believe that you're going to receive some amazing content and receive some great information on how you can best utilize LinkedIn with not only your job search, but also with helping with internships, helping with branding yourself that will help you for your future career-wise as well. We can go to the next slide. So just to introduce ourselves, Genesis and I are from the Student Employment Services Department at Southwestern College. My name is Victor. I'm Student Employment Services Specialist. My main job is what I do is I connect students to jobs, employment opportunities, and bringing employers to connect with students as well. And who you've been hearing from is also Genesis. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Genesis. I'm the internship job developer at Southwestern. I've been at the college for a year and a half now, but I've been in higher ed and in career services for a very long time. And so I'm really excited to share what we have going on and tell you more about LinkedIn because I think it's an underutilized tool, most definitely. And then I'll also plug in our social media outlets. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So please feel free to follow us. We are sharing content, advice, as well as in companies that are hiring students. So please, please, please make sure that you are following us on those social media outlets. All right, and with that, I'm gonna get us started with a poll. Just want to hear from you. There are no right or wrong answers here. I just want to know, how knowledgeable do you feel in how to utilize LinkedIn and all of its features? So go ahead and tell us what you're thinking. There are no right or wrong answers. It's okay to be 100% honest here. Our goal is to share with you as much information as we can about how to utilize the platform. So if you have no clue, that's okay. Just tell us. And we want to make sure that we're meeting your needs. All right, I'm going to give it just one more minute or a couple more seconds. And with that, I'm going to end the poll and share with you the results. So what you can see here is that most of you don't feel confident at all about or knowledgeable at all in terms of what LinkedIn is and what it has to offer. And so that's okay. We're excited to share and hopefully give you some information that will help you feel more knowledgeable, more confident in how to use the platform. I'm going to close this, but I think you all might have to close it on your end as well.
All right, so today we're going to cover these basic areas. One, we're going to help you understand your online brand and its importance through developing a professional, informative, and holistic LinkedIn profile. So just as you think about Nike, they have a brand, just as you think about Ralph's, they have a brand, you're creating also your own online brand with LinkedIn. We're going to talk about developing strategies to build, maintain, and engage a network of professionals. The larger your network, the more likely you'll be able to connect with those employers in those career fields that you're interested in. And we're also going to talk about discovering techniques for utilizing the platform of LinkedIn as a career development and job search tool. And I believe that's really going to help you as well during your job search.
So a little bit about LinkedIn. This is a lot of stats here, and I'm going to go over a lot of it with you. LinkedIn in general is a social networking tool, just like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are, but they're strictly for professional purposes. So there aren't necessarily pictures of people sharing what they ate, right? Or what they did at the beach this weekend. But it's strictly about your professional world and your professional life. So that's the real big difference there. It is really designed to help people make business connections, share their experiences and their resume, and find jobs. It's there to help individuals grow their network and locate opportunities. And everyone can use LinkedIn, whether you're a professional with decades of work experience or students who are currently looking to explore the field. So I want you to know that you don't have to have a ton of experience under your belt to get started, okay? You can see based on the stats here on the screen that there are a lot of people on LinkedIn, a lot of companies that you might want to be working for, and a lot of people who are in position to hire. So you can see 77% of recruiters are on LinkedIn. There are over 30 million companies represented. There's over 20 million jobs posted and over 40 million students like yourselves who are already on LinkedIn. So this is the login screen, or when you go and type in linkedin.com, this is the sign-in screen. This is what you're going to be met with. And I want to call out that we're not going to spend a ton of time today going over how to build your profile. There are some tools and resources that we'll share with you, but we're not going to walk through step-by-step how to do that, because LinkedIn has a really nice step-by-step process in which they tell you what you need to do next. So just want to call that out right away. But when you sign on into LinkedIn, you're going to be met with this homepage, and this is my homepage. Just like Instagram and just like Facebook, you're met with a feed right away. And this is your news feed. This is where you're going to share, like, or comment on other people's posts. At the top, you'll see your network. Your network is where you can see all of your connections and search for other people who you would like to join your network. At the top there, you can also see jobs. That's the job board, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Messaging is where you can send instant messages and emails within the platform. And then me is where that little me button is where you can set up your profile and your settings. And there's also a search bar, which we'll be utilizing a lot today to find, filter specific people, specific companies, specific jobs, and more. Okay, I want to call out something to you all today too. This isn't going to be a real formal presentation. I'm going to be asking you all for feedback, but I'm also going to be jumping in between the actual presentation and the live presentation deck. And so, or a live LinkedIn profile. And so I want to make sure that you all know we're going to be bouncing around a little bit.
All right. So I just take a quick question break. Why do you think your online image is important? Why is your online image important? Go ahead and drop it in the Zoom group chat box. Go ahead and drop, why do you think your online image is important? So we talked about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great tool to establish who you are on the internet. So why do you think it's important that your image looks good? You can go ahead and drop your reasons. Thank you so much. First impressions. Yes. Sometimes it is the very first impression a company will see of who you are. So it's really good that you look great on the internet as well. Why else is your online image important? It's your electronic face, right? It's what people
Absolutely,
see.
Marissa.
Reputation, very, very good. Thank you for sharing that as well. Your reputation. You've got things that don't look so well, or if you don't look presentable on your online image, companies or employers may have certain beliefs towards who you are as a person. That's good. Any other reasons? And you can continue to drop them. But yes, your online image is important. It's very important. So basically with online presence, the virtual professional network has morphed from an online resume and networking site to a comprehensive personal branding resource. So it's not just going on to a web page and just sending in your resume or just only networking, but a comprehensive personal branding resource. It's become a major tool where you can access employers, where you can access businesses, and it's showing all sides of you. At one time, you could only show what was on paper to an employer. Now with LinkedIn, you can show things that you're interested in. You have other ways to connect with employers that can show more assets of you and your accomplishments than just simply a resume.
I like what Edward says here. He says it gives off a demonstration of how you represent in a professional level. That's absolutely right. And I'd also say here that, you know, employers are absolutely looking for you on social media. So if they're looking at your Instagram. They're going to be looking for you on Facebook. They're looking for how you demonstrate who you are as a person to the outside world. And so when you create a LinkedIn profile, the beauty of LinkedIn is that it's pretty high up in the Google search engine. So when you have a LinkedIn profile, it comes up. So you want it to be one of the first things that are seen. So I always recommend creating a profile.
And within it's an additional help. Like you've got something additional to show your employer how great and amazing you are, and you control that. So it's best to put your best foot forward. So with the profile, as mentioned, we're not going to cover every single aspect of it because LinkedIn does have a really great tool that shows you what to do and gives you suggestions on what to do. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but LinkedIn does a great job of walking you through how to make your profile look excellent, presentable, and even give off a great look and feel to employers. But one of the major things that we did want to mention was by completing your profile, you are 40 times more likely to be found by an employer when an employer completes a search. So by having a photo, by completing your experience, by adding your education, skills, summary, endorsements, and a headline, you become so much more easily found by employers in the fields and the industries that you want to go into.
All right, so one of the first things that you're going to do when you sign up for a LinkedIn profile is you're going to be creating a photo and a headline, okay? Name is pretty easy, but the photo and headline is really important. I use David Ramirez here, who's a counselor and a teacher here at Southwestern, and he's a friend, and so he allowed me to do this. I didn't just do this on a whim. But you can see here, our photos are very clear. One, they're good quality photos. They're professional looking, right? David's actually in the process of speaking at a microphone. And they're a great demonstration of who you are professionally. So it's really important that you have a good professional photo. Don't crop anybody out. Don't do it in the driver's seat of your car. Don't be shirtless. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I've seen lots of LinkedIn profiles where people are not wearing tops. It's not a good look. So I would recommend, remember that this is a professional network. So you want to demonstrate who you are as a professional. And the other piece is a headline. Now for David, his headline you can see is his role, right? And that's what he wanted his headline to be. By default, it does put your last position, your most recent position as your headline. But if you're there and you're changing positions, or you're changing industries, or making a career change, or you're there for a specific purpose on LinkedIn, then you might not necessarily want to put your job title, right? Like if you are working as a cashier at Walmart, maybe that's not the kind of work that you're looking for moving forward. So you might put like biology student at Southwestern College instead. But for me, I work with employers. I work with employers regularly to help you all find internships and job opportunities. And so my headline, rather than saying internship job developer at Southwestern, which would be fine too, I want employers to see about me that I am connecting students with valuable internships and job opportunities. I want them to know when they find me that that's what I'm about, okay? I'll also tell you that the algorithm in LinkedIn makes just having a photo and a headline, 21 times more likely to be found. So I know in your profile, like Victor said in his prior, it's 40 times if you have all of this, but just the photo and headline alone makes it 21 times more likely to be found. So keep that in mind. All right, and I really quickly wanted to go through a walkthrough of my profile. I think it would be helpful for you all to see what a complete LinkedIn profile looks like. So I'm actually going into my LinkedIn profile here. When you go to a profile, look at someone else's profile, you won't have these pencils here because that's because this is mine and it's editable. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you all can see. Again, my photo, my headline. There's a little about me section that tells a little bit about who I am and what I bring to the table, right? There's some dashboard information which you don't necessarily, that won't be seen on your profile. That's private to you. Anything that I've commented on or posted is in this activity section, but then you have my experience. It tells the story about where I've been. Think of this like your resume section. Your resume tells a little bit about where you've been, what you've done, and your education, okay? Here, oh, under education, just like with your, you can also list activities, things that you did, honor societies, clubs and organizations, courses that you might have taken that help demonstrate your qualifications for going into a new field. Then you can list some skills and endorsements. Now, when we talk about skills and endorsements, so let's say, I always say, like, if you're going into a field like, let's say you're looking to be a manager, right? So your skills might be leadership, might be specific software that you know, it might be your ability to communicate, your customer service. So these are all skills that you can add, but once you've added skills, your colleagues and the people in your network can actually add recommendations and endorsements for you. So they can write out, oh yeah, she's a great career counselor. She's really good at career development and resume writing. So you can see that I've been endorsed by lots of my colleagues and friends because they know what it is that I do. So that's a really good, powerful tool to use as well. And I think one of the most powerful tools that exist just within your profile alone is the ability to receive and give recommendations. You're not just a piece of paper anymore. There are people connected to you on LinkedIn who can endorse you and can recommend the person that you are and the things that you bring to the table. And so these are some recommendations that I've received and are posted on my profile for others to see about me as well. And you can see here there are some organizations and publications. Those are optional, but there's also interests, which I think is really great to also include because it tells the story. If you don't have a ton of experience in your field, what is it that you're interested in? What is it that you want to get into? And for me, I'm interested in finding opportunities for my students. So you can see there are companies and that I follow that are local to San Diego. You can see here there are organizations that I'm a part of that are specific to the kind of work that I do also. So that's what we mean when we talk about a complete profile. I'm going to move on. And I don't want you to feel overwhelmed just by my profile. Just know that I've been building mine over time, right? It's taken me years to get my profile to that level. But LinkedIn has a really nice student checklist that provides you some insight into how exactly to create a strong LinkedIn profile. So you can see they have little check boxes that you can, and they give you some examples as well. And so I want to share that with you, and you'll get a link to that later today in today's presentation as well, okay? So that's that.
So we want to make sure that as you're going through creating your LinkedIn profile, let's say you've created it and you're like, I wonder if I have everything done. We can give you a LinkedIn review. We can give you a profile review. So you can simply contact me or Genesis through the Student Employment Services Department. That's ses@swccd.edu. You will see this at the end of the PowerPoint presentation, the webinar presentation as well, but we can give you a simple review and help you with reviewing your profile on LinkedIn. And this next section that we're going to go into, we're going to speak about different strategies to build, maintain, and engage a network of professionals. So this is some really great information we're going to be sharing.
So we didn't, we really blazed through that introduction piece about how do you really build your profile. Your profile is what you first have to do to get started, but then once you've got your profile started, you can start strategizing on how to do what you're about to do, right?
Yeah. So I would just want you to think about this, and we'll go into it a little bit more, but who is in your network? Go ahead and drop it in the chat box. Think about the people that are in your network, and you can think broadly about that. Who is in your network? When you think about, you hear this term, oh, my network, oh, I'm building my network, or oh, I need to get this person in my network. Who are the people that are within your network, and who makes up your network? You can go ahead and drop it in the chat function. Who's in your network? What type of people? What type of individuals? Who represent your network? Thank you so much. So who are the people that are in your network? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Friends, yes, friends are in your network. Thank you for sharing. Friends, many our friends have connections to different employers, to different jobs, different experience. Instructors, yes. Instructors can have connections to employers, classmates, yep. Your manager, exactly. Manager, director at work, instructors at schools, the electronic industry, connections that you have in the past, people related with your professional arena. Yes, you can continue to drop them, but thank you so much. Those are all examples of people who are in your network. And we're talking with LinkedIn really helps you to develop your network, to build your network. And think about your network is not just people you know, but it's people that are connected to people that you know. My first job out of college came from somebody that I didn't know directly, but knew me through other people and saw me doing different things I was a part of. So your network is much larger than you might even realize. So on LinkedIn, it's to grow your network. These are some major things that you can do that aren't too hard, that are pretty easy. So you can import your contacts. Within LinkedIn, they have a section where you can import your contacts. You can sync from your email. You can add your coworkers, classmates, friends, relatives, and through adding them, you happen to get connections to who they're connected to as well. Just like on Facebook, there's friend suggestions. Well, when you import your contacts, depending on who you're connected to, you can also get suggestions of people related to your industry or people that you might know. So that's awesome. You can join groups, just like Facebook or other things have groups. There's professional groups that you can join. You can build industry knowledge and network within that. There's many times I've been a part of groups. I've learned knowledge that I would not have known unless I was a part of that group. So you're getting access to resources as well, because knowledge truly is power. Locate groups by your interest in industry. You can use that search bar. You can even message group and members outside of your groups. If you see somebody that you want to get in contact with, or a company that maybe is hiring, you don't necessarily have a direct connection, you can reach out to them. For me, there's a student, there were some jobs that were open and we were trying to get through HR to get them. And I actually happened to know the vice president, and I reached out to him as well as other people that I didn't know that I've sent. Because they were connected to the company, I was able to get in contact with them and help bring resources. There's an Alumni Tool, which is an awesome tool when you graduate Southwestern College that you can be a part of as well. Again, developing and enlarging your network, and then engaging online and offline. So just a statistic, on LinkedIn, 79% of respondents reported that they read or engaged with content on the platform at least once a week, on LinkedIn once a week. 1 in 3 say they do so every day. I know I'm somewhere every day touching LinkedIn, just seeing, getting information, knowledge, adding people, and people view your profiles and even ask to connect with you as well. So those are ways to develop your network.
Yeah, and I would say we're going to dive into the Alumni Tool a little later, but I want you to know that LinkedIn's a great tool, not just for searching for jobs, not just for posting your online resume, but also to connect with people you might not have ever known and to see who's connected to you otherwise. I've shared this story with a few students, and I've shared it in a few presentations before, but my mom never knew what it was that I did for a living for a really long time. Just a few years ago, we went to the Philippines and she told everybody that I was a teacher. And I work at the college. Yeah, I work in education, but I guess that was the gist of what she knew about me. She didn't know that I actually work with students. I work with students and helping them find jobs and internships, and I help them understand what their journey is going to look like after graduation. And so, my mom's a nurse, and I just think about all of the opportunities that that I probably lost out on, and not sharing with her what it is that I do, and giving her an opportunity to know that she could probably open the door at her hospital for lots of internships and job opportunities that I didn't have access to. We often think that our family and friends, they're not in our industry, they're not in our network, but we don't know who our parents know. And I just had another quick story. I had a student who came in the last semester and told me she was looking for an internship, and lo and behold, the company that she actually got her internship with, her mom had a friend, a long-time friend who worked there, and she didn't even know that connection existed, because she didn't share her career goals, her aspirations, what she's doing at school with her mom. Her mom could have opened that door for that internship before I could have. All right. Is this you or me, Vic?
It's you bet.
Got
So
it.
this next section, we're going to talk about career development and job search. So we're going to talk a little bit more of how we can develop and job search using LinkedIn.
Awesome. So I love this quote. I think it really summarizes LinkedIn really clearly. And it's by Libby Sartain, who is this Chief People Officer at Yahoo. She says, "I think social media will ultimately change how HR recruits. It's changing the entire talent marketplace. You were there to be found by your entire network, conceivably for the rest of your lives. That is a profound change. I believe that the effect will be less applying for jobs and more of employers finding you." Now, I have a pretty robust LinkedIn profile, and I'll tell you that every week I probably get a recruiter emailing me at least once a week asking me if I'm interested in a position they're posting. So HR is absolutely using LinkedIn to source candidates. I'm not even applying for jobs right now. They go to LinkedIn, they see my skill set, and they say, I wonder if she'd be interested in this position. And so I definitely recommend making sure that your profile is complete so that you too can be found. All right, so here in front of us, this is you, Vic, sorry.
No problem. So as we were saying, right here is where when you go in and you search for jobs, there's many jobs that allow you to apply simply using your profile. But you can go in, you can search by the title, the job, the skill, the company, your city and state or zip code. Maybe you want to look, okay, where are jobs in Chula Vista that are related to, customer service? Where are the jobs in, maybe you're about to move and you're like, I'm moving, some things came up with family. Where's some jobs there? You can look by the types of skills, the company, the title, and apply. Also, job posters are also, they're notified when you apply. So sometimes, usually, even outside of LinkedIn, you have to submit a resume. A resume maybe through email, and it's when they get it. But on LinkedIn, they're notified right away. They get a notification directly to their profile. You can ask questions to recruiters, which is something that you usually can't. You can't do that in the real world outside of LinkedIn. And again, you could search by company. So let's say you want to work for Nike. Let's say you want to work for Hilton. You can look at the companies and see their positions as well.
Yeah, I'd add here too, is like, you can see here, this is a quick search of my, like, I didn't even search for anything on when I posted this screenshot, but you can see they took words from my profile, and they found positions that I might be interested in just based on what is listed on my profile. And so that's where it becomes really important that, the algorithm of LinkedIn will do the searching for you. You don't even have to like enter anything. They'll find positions that they think you might be interested in, which is really nice too. All right, so then you can also research organizations. And I think for some of you, you might just be open to working anywhere, and that's great, that's awesome. But I also encourage you to dream a little bit and play and think about, what are organizations that I would be interested in working for. You can follow these organizations. You can see here, you can hit follow, and you can get up to date information into what's going on at that organization. Also, get notifications about when they're posting job opportunities. So here I searched Pixar. A lot of my students, for some reason, really are interested in working for Pixar. Shoot, I'm interested in working for Pixar. So you can easily follow. You can also look and see what jobs are posted. And this is a great tool for those of you who are interviewing or getting ready for interviews. As you start to do some research, you can look at their LinkedIn company page and see what's being posted. Look at what some of what the other employees who work at Pixar, what are some of the skills that they've got who are doing similar roles than what you're interviewing for. So I really do enjoy LinkedIn, not just for my networking purposes, but for research purposes too. I think it's really a great tool for you all to utilize. Let me see if there's anything else I'm missing here about this slide. News on the organization. They also can post hiring events. And also you can find out what company or what connections are working there. I'm going to share with you a really funny example. I did this I did a presentation similar to this, and I actually did a live demonstration for a class and said, okay, what company do you want to work for? And somebody said Google, and I searched Google. We went to the company website and found out that my cousin works at Google. I had no idea. Again, another example of when we separate our professional and personal lives, where there are opportunities for them to blend and mix that might help each other out.
And what's great also, if you look on the slide in the middle right corner, it tells Genesis 7 people from her school were hired there.
Yep.
So even, let's say you want to work for the company, you may not know how to get in. Oh, I know some people that work there. You can message them, see their experiences, learn. They might have some tools and tricks as well. Broadening your network, helping you get in as well.
Great. Good observation, Victor. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of some demonstration in terms of exploring some career paths. I love LinkedIn for research purposes, for career development. Yes, for job searching, but also for understanding, what could I possibly be doing with my major? Or what are other people doing who've studied in this field? So I am going back to my LinkedIn profile. Everybody, you guys can see my screen. Vic, can you verify for me that you can see? Okay, got it. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my homepage, okay? And I'm actually gonna defer to you all. I'm going back, this is my home page. I'm actually gonna head over into the chat. So I want someone to tell me, what are your professional goals? What are you hoping to do with your degrees? I'm gonna take maybe a couple of these examples, and we're gonna do some career exploration utilizing LinkedIn live in person today. So share with me, what are your professional goals beyond your degree? I know you all are here to get your degree, but what is it that you hope to do with your degree? What are your long-term career aspirations? Why don't you share those with me now via the chat? Give you a few moments. I know it's easier to talk it out, but I know I'm asking you all to type it out. So, okay, grow herbs and medicinal plants. Okay,
Awesome.
feels like a pocket apothecary and pharmaceuticals. Social worker. Okay. All right. Keep them coming. I'm going to go first. I'm going to demonstrate the alumni tool that we talked about, okay? Now, I went to San Diego State University for my undergrad. So I'm going to search San Diego State University, the school, okay? And here at San Diego State University, even Southwestern has this too, okay? But I'm going to go over, I see preschool teacher, architecture, okay. I'm going to use some of those later. I'm going to click on alumni, okay? And this opens up the alumni tool. So I'm going to kind of go into a social worker, okay? When I think of social workers, oftentimes I think that they're, I'm going to say, okay, we can look at, there's over 245,000 students, alumni of San Diego State University that are on the network, on LinkedIn, okay? So I want to know, I can use these boxes here to filter out my options, okay? I want to know who lives here still in San Diego. I can see, I don't care where they work. I want to know what they studied. So if I'm going here to what they studied, let me show more. And I know that sociologists, you likely get their BAs or social workers oftentimes in psychology and sociology. So I'm going to hit sociology. I'm going to go back where they work. I'm going to add what they studied. I'm going to add psychology, okay? And I want to know what they're skilled at, how are you connected? And I want to know that they're in community and social services, okay? So now what that did is that took that 200 and, what was it, 45,000 down to 1,100 alumni, okay? And now I can scroll all the way down here to the bottom and I can see what it is that they do, right? I can see Judy is actually a counselor here at Southwestern. I know that Brandy is one of our work-based learning coordinators here at Southwestern, right? My friend Tina, and I want to show you guys here that you can see the second degree connection or first degree connection. That's something for you all to note too, is that a first degree connection is someone that you have direct relationships with. A second degree connection is like Rachel is a second degree connection. Rachel knows someone that I know. Does that make sense? That's how that works. And a third degree connection is that, like, I know someone who knows that person, okay? But it's a really nice way to be able to see, oh, this is what people are doing with their degrees, right? So this is one tool for you to utilize, okay? So this is the alumni tool. I highly recommend that you do it. And when you think about alumni, they have walked the walk. They have done the things that you have done. They've had the same experiences that you've had as a student. So let's say you reach out to someone who's one of these folks, right? I can reach out to Mary Cruz Garcia. Ideally, we have 5 shared connections. I'd probably reach out to one of these shared connections and say, hey, can you introduce me to Mary Cruz? But if I didn't have any of these relationships, I might have emailed her directly and said, hi, my name is Genesis. I'm also an alumni of San Diego State, and I was just looking at your LinkedIn profile, and I would love to pick your brain about how you became a counselor, or how you became a social worker. And it's a great way for you to get some insight and to start building your network, okay? The other piece I want to talk about is outside of the Alumni Tool, okay? So I'm going to go back to home. I'm going to go back to the home page. And what you're going to see here is, I'm going to choose, let me see here, architecture, okay? So here, I'm going to go to architect, and I'm not going to search in jobs. I'm not going to search in services. I'm going to search in people, okay? Because I'm not looking for an architecture job. I'm not looking for an architect job, but I am looking for what are other people doing, or how did other people become architects? That makes sense? So Mikael is a future architect. Cool. This person's a skills architect at Western Governors. I'm going to look here. So architect can have lots of different connotations now. Project architect, even like systems architect, right? So maybe this isn't a good search for me to demonstrate this with. Actually, I'm going to back up a little bit. Here's an example. We're not going to do people. I'm going to go to groups. We talked a little bit about groups today. So I can look at architecture groups. IASA is a Global IT Architect Connections. Maybe I'm going to say architecture. So these, look, interior architecture and design. This is a group of 75,000 people. Here's interior architecture. Okay, so I'm going to click on interior architecture. That's got a lot of people in it, and interior architecture and design. So you can see here, this is a group, it's a private group. I have to request to join, but I can read a little bit about what this group is about, right? And see what other groups exist. And so this is a great place for you to explore what it is. What are the trends within the field? What are the job postings within the field, right? I see that all the time within the groups that I'm a part of. So here's another one, is an interior architecture and design. Again, a brief description. Again, I can't see a ton because I'm not a member of this group, okay? But let me use preschool teacher, okay? So I'm going to search preschool teacher, again, not in jobs, but in people. Oh, that didn't work. Let me do preschool, what's happening? And I'm going to people, okay? So you can see here, what I'm doing is now I want to do some exploration of how did people become a teacher? Okay, what is it that what was their experience? What is it that they got their degrees in? How many years of experience did they need, right? So now what I'm essentially doing is I'm going to open 10-ish people's profiles. That's normally what I would do. I'm going to do a couple, 2 or 3 here for you all today. And what essentially I'm looking for is I'm looking at some similarities, okay? I'm looking for what is it that they have listed in their about section, right? I want to look at what are their experiences that they have listed. So this person's a preschool teacher. Right now at We Care, they were at Head Start before that. They were at another school. So they've got a lot of years of experience, right? Oh, they got their bachelor's degree in child development. Okay, so that might be on my to-do list, right? Of what I need to do in order. They went to Southwestern. They got their degree in accounting, interestingly enough, right? So this is a good way for you to just explore. Here's Nicole. She's an infant teacher. She was also at that same other place, Discovery Isle Child Care Center. She was a student worker at Polinsky. You can see some of her skills. And she went to San Diego State University. So you can see, just look at a few of these. Take a look at similarities. What are the things that they have? She has her resume posted. Okay. She's a student, or she was a student at Point Loma. She got it in child and adolescent development. Okay. So you can see typical what a career path might look like for someone. And so that's, I think, the value of LinkedIn. It's not just about, yes, we can look for jobs. Yes, we can look for jobs, absolutely. But there's a lot here that exists that we might be able to explore all of the possibilities when we look at other people's positions and what their career path would look like also. So I'm going to get on out of there. The last thing I wanted to share with you is this link. Let me jump back into the presentation mode momentarily. Is this link? It's university.linkedin.com/LinkedIn for students. I'm going to post that here in the chat for you all, but I'm also going to go to it because I think I love this tool. LinkedIn, it makes it so I don't have to create any of these resources. They have it for you. But what you can see here is it talks about how to utilize it. Here's that nice profile checklist that I shared with you earlier. It gives you a resource on how to job hunt, how to build your brand using LinkedIn. There's tons and tons and tons of resources that exist here that will help you in getting your LinkedIn in front of employers. All right. All right, and so next steps. I want you to think about everything that we talked about today. We went through things really quickly, but there are a few things that you might want to consider doing. Start updating your profile, add new connections, maybe join a group, follow a new company, start sharing information with your network, contribute to a discussion in a group, or contact us in Student Employment to get a review of your LinkedIn profile. Let's take a moment here. Go ahead and enter into the chat. What do you think you're going to do now with your LinkedIn profile? What is your next step? Today, tomorrow, sometime this week, what will you be doing with your LinkedIn profile? Great, Amy. That is the way to get started, is to create a profile. Yes.
Awesome.
Any other ideas?
Excellent. Narrow down search terms, practice some searches. That's awesome.
Great.
Update your picture. Yes. Professional picture. Awesome.
Yes. Good.
Excellent.
All right. Way to go. One last tip that I want to, or is this you, Vic? I'm
okay.
losing track. It's
No
me.
problem.
One last tip. LinkedIn is a great tool. You should absolutely stay connected, stay active. I have something on my calendar, on my work calendar that reminds me to spend 10 minutes a day logged in, maintaining a presence on LinkedIn, just to show that you're engaged. Like a post, comment on someone's post, share something, so that folks know that you're on the profile. That also helps you become much more searchable on LinkedIn. And I don't want you to feel like you have to do it all. That is not what I'm saying, but I want you to spend time and explore it, enjoy it, but don't feel like you have to, race to the finish line to get it started, okay? We're here to help you along the way. I'm going to pull up one last poll for you all. We shared quite a bit with you today. I am having a hard time here figuring out. Oh, here we go. Paula, I love that you got so much out of this. You are going to follow a company, you're going to explore career paths, and you're going to get in the habit, yes, of searching LinkedIn. I love it. I love it. I definitely think there's something so valuable about this. It's all at your fingertips. Can I tell you, when I first started working, and I know that some of you will say I look really young. I am not very young anymore. But when I first started looking for work, this tool did not exist. And so to have all of this at your fingertips is a blessing. And so you know, it might not be as enjoyable to be home right now in the midst of COVID, but this is a really cool tool that you can spend time exploring for sure. And I'm gonna open up the poll. One last poll, very similar to the first question we asked you. We shared a lot with you today. We shared a ton. Want to hear from you now. How do you feel now about how knowledgeable you are in terms of utilizing LinkedIn and all of its features? Give you all a few more seconds. Fantastic. Maybe 3 more seconds in case anybody else has any. Going. Okay. I'm going to share the results. You guys, I am so glad you found some value in this. I saw, you know, nobody had any idea what was going on with LinkedIn, and now we have at least a lot more knowledge, right, about how to utilize LinkedIn and all of its features. So I'm so happy that you gained some insight here. Paula, thank you so much for this feedback. It means a ton to us. We wanted to make sure we covered a lot, but we didn't want to make sure it was overwhelming either. And tomorrow we will be sending out the recording to all of you. And it will be posted on our LinkedIn or on our YouTube page as well. So I'm going to stop sharing these results and turn it over to Victor.
And again, just remember that we are definitely here to help. You can contact us at the contact information that you see on the slide. You can contact us, send us an email at any time. Our phone number is also there. You can feel free to text us as well. And definitely be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We post not only just great tips and information, but we post jobs that are available. Each day we get a notification of jobs that are available. We just post them right online, so you can contact us so you can apply as well. So it's a great resource as well. So again, you can contact us at our email addresses via text message or even on Instagram and Twitter. Again, you will get the recording to this webinar. We're so glad that you can help. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us.
And then we have 5 more minutes before we end. So feel free to either type in your questions into the chat. I'm also, you all will remain muted, but I'm now turning on the feature so that if you want to unmute yourself to ask your question live, you can feel free to do that too. So whatever is easiest for you. We do have a few more minutes, so I want to make sure we open up some time and space to make sure that your questions get addressed. I do see here that Jessica asked if she could get some help, who she can get in contact with for help with an internship, and that is absolutely me. So please feel free to email me to let me know that you're interested in getting help with an internship, and we can set up an appointment for a virtual conversation. I'm glad you guys were able to find some value here. I love seeing your feedback here in the chat. We are always happy to be of some help and provide some tools and resources for you to help you in navigating this crazy job search world. Any last questions? Feel free to unmute yourself or type them in the chat. We'll be on for a few more minutes. Great question, Jessica. Are we doing any other webinars? I'm going to be posting that on social media as an Instagram story question in terms of what kind of content you all are looking for us for the summer. We want to make sure we're meeting your needs. Our other webinars are definitely posted on YouTube, so you can check those out. But Victor and I had thought about initially really focusing the rest of our webinars on bringing companies to you all to make sure that you all have companies to tell you a little bit about what they're looking for and what they're hiring for. So we will definitely, that's been our focus, but we're open to hearing feedback from you all about what you're looking for because we want to meet your needs.
Yes, we do help with resumes and cover letters also. So feel free to contact us if you started your resume and you're not quite sure, or if you're like, I need to update it, I need a little assistance, or if you're not sure how to write a cover letter, or even you're like, I got a cover letter for this company, but I want somebody to look it over, we are definitely here to help. And with creating a LinkedIn profile, I definitely suggest go ahead, get on LinkedIn, create your profile, do the best that you can, and then contact us if you have any additional questions, if you've never created one. As Genesis mentioned, they have a great tool. Tells you step by step how to create, what you need to do, what you're missing, even gives you a percentage, says up you're about 54% complete. It shows you what you need to do. So I would suggest go ahead and start it. But if you need some additional help, yeah, we can definitely help you with that.
And I'm just going to pull up this resource here as well. This LinkedIn for Students has a great checklist, so that as you're building your profile, it does tell you, gives you some tips and advice on, if you're uploading a picture, it should look like this, and it should not look like this, right? It gives you some helpful do's and don'ts. So, but again, we are happy to help review your LinkedIn profile. We're not going to do it for you, right? But we can definitely help review it. Any other questions? I saw Paula nodding when I said that we're bringing employers to you. So I think that's the direction that she wants us to head. Absolutely. We will definitely do that. All right. Well, with that said, I'm going to kind of fast forward here to our last slide. Again, we are absolutely here to help. If you need anything in terms of your job search, please don't hesitate to reach out to Victor or myself. You can also reach both of us at once at ses@swccd.edu. SES stands for Student Employment Services. So we're happy to be of some help to you all, and you guys know where to find us. So if you need anything, just give us a shout. Thank you for spending the afternoon with us, and we hope you have an amazing day. Have a good one, everyone.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.